All right, everyone. Today is January the 20th, 2026. We are here today to do another reading. I'm going to do today another collective reading and see what's going on for today. So just like yesterday, I started off with my Modern Witch Tarot deck. We're going to start with that. These cards are so thick. All right. For January the 20th, what is the collective message for everyone today? What is going on with the collective? Hold on. We're going to switch it this way. Oh. Okay, hold on. You guys, it's so hard to grab these. What is the collective message for today's viewers? We're just going to do the one on the top, but we're just going to take a peek. So I'm going to put this here, and these are like mentionables, so we'll get to those. I'm going to pull 3 more. Three more cards. Three more cards to choose from. While this card is coming out, I do have an Instagram that you guys can follow me on. It is Golden Moonchild Tarot. Let's just put those. We got an extra card. Golden Moonchild Tarot on Instagram, and I have my website up. I'm still uploading some things onto the website, but it is there for you guys to see and to contact me if you guys would like to have a reading. We have our card on the top, card on the bottom. Okay, so there's that. Let's get into this. Now, for those who are trying to figure out how I read, I don't really have spreads. I just do whatever feels right. This seems to be working for me right now. So we're just going to take a look at the mentionables real quick. Okay. All right, so we have, let's put these like this. So let's get these all over just so this can fit. Okay, to start off, I like to read from here, kind of going into a storyline and then overall messages, and then just this is just kind of like extra stuff that can support the reading. If I need to pull extra cards, I'm going to pull from a different deck for a clarification and go from there. So the Ace of Wands in reverse. I'd like to say, to start there, Ace of Wands talks about offerings. We have a hand providing a wand to this collective, right? What I will say is maybe there's something that there is a passion that could help you, but you don't necessarily feel like you want to do it. And it could be because there's a level of imbalance of strength, meaning Strength is usually like how we calm ourselves, how we show up for ourselves. And it could also mean like an outside source having control over you, maybe making you unstable about whatever this is. And it has you in your emotions with the Queen of Cups. It could be that something emotionally that's creating a misalignment or some type of inability to be strong about it. And it could be led from misinformation. If this sounds like you, let me know in the chat so far. Pretty much what I'm seeing is this top line. I'm picking up that there's something, and the only card that's upright is the Queen of Cups. So everything else is in reverse in this top line. Something that your achievements with the Nine of Cups, something about having knowledge about something or misinformed about something. It could be making you a little bit more like, yes, you're sitting on your throne, but you feel a little unstable. It could mean that. Just based off of the cards around it. Let's say if it was something next to it, like let's say, if this card was next to it, you'd have more abundance and you're happy about your decision. There's like you invested, you nurtured that. So that's why I'm assuming that this is going to be more of an imbalance next to the Strength card. So some type of passion, some type of something, project, a goal, something that's internal to you that you want to accomplish or you don't know how to accomplish is making you feel maybe like you're not focused on it anymore. Like you don't want to give it any more attention. It feels like something is not adding up. What you may know about it is actually not the truth. And it's causing you to be in this energy of the Nine of Cups where you want to be proud or you want to feel happy about the things behind you to represent you, but it's not, if that makes sense. So let's put this into a story. Let's say you had a passion project that you started, but because of things not really having the willpower or something diminished your willpower to proceed with it because of misinformation has brought you to this energy where you kind of don't want to take part in it anymore. That's what I would say for the first line. For the second line, we have kind of tying into this misinformation because somebody could have been doing something behind your back, or something was revealed that this person was doing something behind your back. Maybe you even were self-sabotaging yourself in some way. And it caused you to pick a decision between maybe walking away or doing nothing. We have two decisions here. King of Swords in reverse. And this came out yesterday. It seems as though that there is an energy of like not knowing how to move forward because you lost passion for it. Sorry, you guys, my phone died. Okay, so anyways, for the most part, like I said, I was right here, kind of like when we last left off. In this decision of the Two of Swords, you have to get to the point of realizing where you could have sabotaged yourself or where somebody else sabotaged you. Looking at where you sabotage yourself is what boundaries did you not uphold? What did you not have the strength to stand on business in a sense? And as far as somebody else, where did people misalign you, misguide you? What illusions were people trying to put you in or try to say about you? Overall, I feel like in this reading collectively, what it means is that a lot of the stuff that was going on before, you guys are done with it. You're done with people not being their true selves around you. Or the fact that some people can mislead you or misguide you into thinking what is really not. I want to say that you are taking action pretty quickly with the Knight of Swords in the beginning, and you're taking that action and investing it into yourself with the Three of Pentacles. You could be rearranging your life right now to find your own family, and I don't mean like blood family, I mean like just the people who identify or align better with you. I should say that word, align better with you, to really create, to really move forward and do things that, you know, essentially work better for you. The goal of any reading that I say is, how can we get the cards to be upright? I feel as though once you start to realize what is holding you back, or what you're not trying to bring forth to the truth of the matter for yourself, once you do that, then you'll be able to switch all these cards. So let's talk about how we can switch some cards. I'm going to also talk about these real quick. So we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Six of Swords. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. There's a lot of pentacles in this reading. So I'm assuming that this has to do with either work, money, or, you know, even setting goals, planting seeds. What are you doing in the beginning to start these power play moves in your own personal life? The Queens of Pentacles could be, yes, you have an idea, but maybe you're not aware of how to get there. Rabbits tend to be a sign of abundance, I like to see, because they be having kids in abundance. So that's pretty much like the fruits that you were able to produce with the Queen of Pentacles. You know, how can you get yourself to be more abundant in your life? And I think that's the first step, is realizing where are you lacking in your abundance. You're still the queen, but like, how can you shift that? And I feel like it's going to come once you realize like what's not serving you and move away from it with the Six of Swords. As you can see, and everybody says it, but this card always represents moving to calmer waters, moving to a lifestyle, moving to a mindset. With the swords, that's mental, a place that's more nurturing for you, that's more abundant for you. Allowing whatever in the past to fall out, to forgive yourself. And a lot of times those moments, as you can see in this card, this girl is pretty much like doom scrolling. I like to call it doom scrolling. I said scrolling, but anyways, scrolling, where you're just kind of sitting there not doing anything. You're kind of just in the back of your head reflecting on what's going on, but you're distracting yourself with screen time. That's what's preventing you from getting to your abundance. And it's allowing you to, even though you don't like it, it's putting you in a place where your abundance is not coming in at its full potential. So I would say, you know, the first thing you need to do to start creating abundance in your life, which is what I feel like this reading's about, seeing that there's a lot of pentacles. We have a few cups, but not as much as yesterday's reading. It's more about like your mind and your abundance. I don't always want to tie pentacles to like outright money, because wealth comes in different forms. So all in all, I think what you guys need to focus on is really realigning yourself. And like I always say, take the time to journal, take the time to sit with yourself. And I like this energy for you guys right now, is to sit in silence, maybe at night, and really look at your options. Maybe you may have like two defined options, either to go left or right. And then there's also going to be like little other things that can support those conflicts. Taking the time to like look where you could have stood up for yourself. Look for times in the past where you clocked the deceitful behaviors of other people, but you didn't really do anything about it. You kind of just were in this energy of like, I see it, but I'm not going to say anything, or I'm not going to do anything. And a lot of times we are in that energy when we don't want to cause disruption, when we don't want to disturb the peace. And that's not benefiting us, because all we're doing is keeping our mouth closed. We're not letting what we need to come to us because we're sitting in it and staying there. Let's pull some other cards. So now that we determined like what you guys could be going through, I'm just gonna like this real quick, just so we can make sure that we get a nice mixture of cards. All right. Okay, so the collective seems to be in a place where they're ready to make the change and move forward. That looks like getting rid of things that don't serve them anymore, focusing on their abundance, taking actions to move towards what is going to better them in the future, this month, in the upcoming weeks, upcoming years. What can they do in order to improve some of these things for themselves? So let's see. All right. Magician in the reverse. Taking the elements that you have, I would say being respectful. Be respectful to the things coming around you, the opportunities. I feel like in a sense, since it did fall, well, I put it there, but I feel as though that like this does tie together, because when you look at the wands, it's something that's given to you. We also have the magician. These are the things, the tools given to you, and you're not using them properly. So we need to figure out what those tools are and then make a decision. And that's how we're going to change our world. We're going to change our environment. Mishandling the opportunities, whether it be like a job opportunity, as you can see, this was offered to you. And I'm catching the vibe that like you want it, but you're unsure about it. Taking those elements, the tools, the resources, the people coming in your life right now, really take a look at that and try to figure out, okay, what is actually going to be good for me? What is not going to be good for me? Once you have that, you make a decision. And I feel like a lot of the times, the best place to find those answers is when you are in solitude, when you are by yourself. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm lonely. I mean, you've made time for yourself to check in with yourself. We don't do that. We usually do this. Where is it at? We usually do this. We find things to distract ourselves. And then we don't get anything done because we just stay on the phone. I'm guilty of it. But we stay on the phone and we just scroll and scroll and scroll, and all that time has gone by. So use the resources that you have. Is there somebody that offered you something that may sound good? But be careful, because it's in reverse. Not everything being offered to you right now is going to benefit you. And that's what you need to actually have discernment on right now. Okay, one more card. Yeah, that's a really beautiful transition. The victory card. So this card did come out yesterday. The way it came out yesterday was more so about like taking the pride and looking into wanting to be seen a certain way. So it's possible for you to have this victory at the end of all of this. You know, you have the victory in whatever partnership you decide to get involved with, but it's going to take some time to get there. The reason why is because you're going to probably be in a mindset of where you're not sure where to make a decision. So let's pull out, let's do like, I'll do like 3 shuffles. I like the number 3. I also like the number 4. Let's see what comes out. If nothing comes out of this next one, then we'll move on decks for an oracle message. Okay, I think that was 3. I'll just do one more. Okay, yeah, nothing came out. Okay, so that deck is done. I was like, are you sure you have nothing else to say? He's like, no, I'm good. All right, so let's get an oracle deck. I used these ones yesterday, so I'm going to use this one today. Meditation and Affirmation. That's what it's called, by Deepak Chopra. Chopra. It's a pretty cool deck. I got this one in Claremont. There's this place called The Grove there. I freaking love that place. Anyways, so yeah. Oh my gosh, these cards are kind of hard to shuffle. They have like a grip on them. There we go. Alright, so what I like to do with Oracle decks, because a lot of the times they just don't fly out like tarot cards do. I shuffle it a couple times to get the energy. What is the message for the collective today? Oh, it did work. Okay, you guys got 2 messages. The cool thing is there's a front and back to these. Okay, so it says you can transcend outer disturbance. Yeah, sorry, disturbances and remain unaffected by them. So I'm gonna read it again. You can transcend outer disturbances and remain unaffected by them. So let's break that down. You see the illusion. You see the misinformation. You register it. You pick and choose what's going to work for you, right? We have here. We also have this one. What feels true to you? And really sit down with yourself and say, you know, is this going to benefit me? What you're going through, and I'm speaking collectively, so this can apply to anyone. Is this going to be something that I need to give my attention to? Is it something that I'm going to have to harvest and nourish? Or can I just let this go? A good question is, in a week, is this still going to bother me? Is this still going to upset me? And that's a question that we should always ask ourselves before we jump into any type of heated debate conversation with someone. On the back it says, I hold inside me a place of peace and silence that cannot be disturbed. Yeah. On the front side, we have recognizing what the disturbances are and being able to realize that they shouldn't affect us because we hold inside a place for peace and silence that cannot be disturbed. And that's the best thing. If you do have somebody, let's just say a narcissist or somebody who is really trying to take your peace, like you see it, you can feel it, something is off. There is a sneaky MFer in my presence. I'm clocking it. Pay attention to it, journal it, but also to acknowledge what it is. Don't let that person affect you. If you need to, call them out. Because that's what we're not doing in this, like, we're not doing this anymore. That's what this reading's about. We're highlighting, we're bringing attention to, we're noticing, we're calling out bad behavior, people who are not aligned for us anymore. And that's okay. I had this analogy the other day I was thinking about when I did a personal reading for myself, and it's like the longer we allow a certain energy to be in our space, the more, just like a tree, it's able to dig deeper into the ground with its roots. Don't be in a place of, well, I don't know what to do. You know, I'm going to give it more time. I'm going to see where it goes. Your spirit and your gut, your higher self knows exactly what is going on. When you have doubt, doubt is not something that's going to benefit you. It doesn't align with you, and it doesn't really get you to your higher self. So just think about that when you are making decisions. Think about that when you are really trying to see a situation for what it is. Don't think about like, what is the potential of the situation? You're just disrupting your peace. The more you feed it water, the more you give it, you know, fertilizer, whatever we're talking about, the analogy of a tree, the more you nourish it, it grows and grows. But think about it this way. Is the tree producing the fruits that you want? Or is a tree even producing fruits at all? And if it's not, why are you giving it still attention? You're wasting your time. So the second card that came out, wait, this is the front. Detach yourself from negative influences. Like literally, it's exactly what I'm saying. Like when we are in, I'm telling you, we need to, as a collective, need to get better. And I know it's hard because we have our emotions and we put all this time into it. And you know, I really was hoping that this would work out. Really all we're doing is we are, and I'm gonna get deep right here, we are refusing to allow the lesson that whatever it is that came into our life in this moment to be learned, understood, digested, and to help us move on in the next chapter of our life. We are not allowing those lessons to be learned, and we keep making the same pattern mistakes over and over. And those pattern mistakes become a way of our own life, of who we are and how we see the world. And think of it this way. If I, like, for example, for a relationship, if I knew deep down in my gut that this relationship was not going to work, but then I got mad when it didn't work, my spirit, my gut, my guides, my higher self, whatever you want to address it as, knew it, but for some reason you allowed your heart to overwrite all of that. And that's not a bad thing, but we have to have balance. And while everything was screaming at you like, hey, this is not for you, you stayed. And the problem was, now you have to deal with the damage. You have to do the inner work. You have to do the healing. And that's hard. Especially if you're a person who is looking for sources to get healing and then you don't know where to look to, or you find people who don't really have the tools or the wording to really help you see things clearly. Okay. So again, I'm gonna just reread it. Detach yourself from negative influences. I remain calm in the face of stress. That is a skill that you can develop. You need to check in with yourself. First and foremost, what are the things that stressed you? If that's homework I'm going to give to you guys today, when you have some time today, get a pen and paper and think of all the reasons why you've ever gotten stress in your life. It could be, this things coming to you, but you're not really aligned with it. Relationships where people were not really showing up the way you needed them to be. Heated debates happening and feeling misunderstood. Your abundances being blocked by, misinformation or things that just seem to not be working for you. Write all that down, right? Write that down on a piece of paper. And then as you go through your days, check in with yourself. Okay, one of the things I wrote down as a stressor, you could write now a little entry in your journal that basically says, I wrote that this was a stressor, and then today, this is what happened. Right, why it made you upset, do the who, what, when, where, and why. Who was it? When was it? What was it? Where was it? And why did it bother you? And really start doing that so that way you can understand yourself. Because I feel like a lot of times we don't really know what we need. Like we have an idea of it, but we don't really know what we need. Okay. Next one. Hold on. A card just went flying. Hold on, you guys. It wasn't even in the box. Oh yeah, this is the one we already had. Yeah, we already have this one. It didn't go in the box. Okay. So this one's a pretty cool deck of oracle cards. I don't think many people have this one. When I watch readers online, I've never seen this deck. But it's called the Earth Warriors Oracle. And the cards are very beautiful. They have this nice purple, and then it does come with a booklet. So the booklet is just Pretty nice. It gives you spreads. It gives you a breakdown. There's the back. There's the front. And then there's the back of the box. So, very nice. It is by Alana Barchild, Earth Warriors Oracle. Okay? So then let's do this. Give me an oracle card. Let's do like a closeout message. Where are we at? We're at 21 minutes. So let's do like a closeout minute. A closeout oracle kind of card. Ooh, hold on. Let me bend these a little bit because they are stiff. Okay, there we go. Woo! We'll do that one. Let's do one more. Now I'm gonna have some struggles saying this. I'm gonna have some struggles saying this. You Luca Vahini Yelunka Vahini. Okay, so it says, she who rides the owls brings justice. And one thing I will say about owls is they see things very clearly in the night. So she's got the sharpest vision out of everybody. You need to have some sharp vision. You need to see the truth right now. And once you embody that energy, you'll be able to see the truth of what you need to be doing. I know the booklet provides an example, but I'll get into it a little briefly. Let's do one more. Oh my gosh. These cards are kind of hard to shuffle too. Why are oracle cards so hard to shuffle for me? Like tarot cards, I can mostly do it. Let's do this. Your girl is struggling. Your girl is struggling. Ooh, she's pretty. Okay, there we go. So, we have the totemic puma. It says power awakening, and aloha ke akua. Aloha. This is giving like Hawaiian, maybe. I'm not too sure. I need to look more into this deck to see what the origins of like culture-wise, where it comes from. Blessings of the Supreme Being. So the higher power is going to provide you what you need. The awakening happens, right? Right here. The power awakening happens when you have the enlightenment to see the truth. And that's when you'll be able to be blessed. Because internally, I believe this, that we are all created in the image of the higher power. We have all the resources we have in ourselves to be able to achieve greatness, to do what we need to do. But if we choose to stay in a mindset of like this way, blinding ourselves and not taking any action, of course nothing positive is going to come to us, because we're allowing time to slip by. We're allowing ourselves to be distracted, and we have to connect with ourselves. That's why I will always say in my readings, you need to have time to yourself. It is the most craziest thing. I don't know if you guys smoke. I'm not supporting it, but I'm just saying, do something. I'm not saying get drunk. I'm not saying do all that stuff, but just tap into some type of energy. Tap into some type of tool that will help you to connect and sit quietly with yourself. Because I'm telling you, spirit will talk to you. There's been multiple times that I will be minding my own business, doing something completely random, mundane, and I will hear a voice. It's always on my right side. It is always a male voice, and it'll always give me guidance. I don't know who it is. I'm still trying to figure out who it is. There was one time in my childhood, true story, I took a picture of myself from an iZone camera. If you guys know throwback camera, and I seen him in the picture. We prayed over it because at the time I was really scared. I was little. And the Polaroid picture undeveloped. Like, whenever does that happen? Never. So let's go with number 3 because that is closest to us in this book. We kind of passed it. Let's see. I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm going to just say a little bit. So in your reading, you've got this. Don't let fear or hesitation hold you back. Apply yourself fully to the task. Let go of old ways of viewing yourself as incapable, scattered, or wasteful of energy. I said that. And then it also says you have the ability to focus intently, to generate clear intention, to achieve your ambitions through Girl, sometimes I'd be struggling. Methodological, whatever that word is, steps and applied will. You have the internal resources, internally, not the people externally, but yes, good people externally, always internally, if that makes sense. Where am I at? You need to, for successful completion, even if no one else recognizes your potential and believes in your future success. In due course, they will understand differently. By then, you will already been moving on to your next task. Trust your senses. Trust your sense of timing. Have patience. When you know it is time to leap, do it without hesitation. Take the jump. Don't be indecisive. Don't be indecisive. Trust yourself. Take action. Jump. Have your awakening. Okay, so we're going to go to the next one, number 8. I'm not reading the whole page, but if you guys like this deck, I mean, this one is a really good, a really good one. Mrs. Farchild, you did your thing. So in a reading, it says, again, don't waste vulnerable time. I'm telling you, maybe this reading is for the people who are procrastinating, because that's all it's about. Like, taking action. Don't waste time. We saw that with the 10 of Swords in reverse. Homegirl on her phone just scrolling. Y'all need to stop scrolling. Y'all, okay. I'm being told to tell that person who's always on their phone scrolling, you need to set times. Like, I'm sorry to say this, but maybe it's like childish, but children have cell phones, but the parents can set timers on the phone when certain things are not able to be viewed anymore. Let's say you've been on Instagram for way too long. Children have it to where the parent can set up, like, I'm only going to do an hour or 2 hours, and then the app will just close off. Or if that's too serious for you and you do have a little bit more self-control over yourself than a child, I would say just set an alarm on your phone. And then I get it. Sometimes we want to reconnect and see what's going on with the world, but we still got to focus on ourselves, because the more we focus on what's going on in the world, we're falling behind in our own world. And then that's how resentment gets built up. Oh, we're not doing what we need to do, or how come this person is getting ahead? Because they're taking their time seriously. We're going to go into this. Again, she who rides the owl brings justice, right? It says, don't waste your valuable time and energy worrying about other people getting away with things. Girl, trust me, I know this too well. It's not possible. Everything is balanced out by karma in the long run. Don't be trying to be I'm gonna talk to the Cancers right now. The Cancers be trying to get their lick back. I'm a Cancer and I love to get my lick back, but sometimes things will start happening and you got to say, you know what, it's happening because I'm trying to force it to happen, instead of allowing divine timing to catch the person who did you wrong. There's other signs that could be like this, vindictive off of the fact that you hurt me. Let God deal with it. Let your guides deal with it. Let your future self not be tormented or having an altered reality happen to them because of what you do right now. Because of you were acting out of malicious intent to harm the person who harmed you. Just saying. Going back to this reading. All right, where we're at. If you feel down or depressed, take action immediately to reconnect to joy, healing energy, and vitality of spirit. All things are measured and metered by clear divine vision. Your job is to put your faith in work of divine. Okay? Okay. You tend to own your journey with trust and commitment. So there's that one. That was nice. I feel like the pastor was preaching. The priest was trying to talk to somebody on that one. Can I get a witness? All right, so the last one, and then we're going to close out this reading. Okay, so here we are in a reading right here. I mean, it goes into spiritual guidance and then healing process as well, but we'll just focus on what it's talking about in this reading. So we pulled this card for this reading because a blessing is coming to you now. Yes, I'm going to repeat it again. A blessing is coming to you, collective, now. Things do not need to be complicated. I'm going to break that down too. Things don't need to be complicated. If a job is complicated, it's not for you. If a relationship is complicated, it's not for you. If a family member is being complicated, it's probably time to detach from that family member. And yes, I do say that. If a friendship is getting complicated, detach from that friendship. You know what I mean? If any type of binding, legal, whatever the case may be, is getting complicated, figure out why and follow what your intuition is telling you. Hands down. When you are confusing yourself with too many variables, too much information, or fear or doubt, focus on filling your heart with love and let everything else go. That is hard. Think of it as this. If I let this go, what is the universe going to bless me with that is better than what I have? That's deep. If you really take the time, I know as people we get hung up on what we have. We get hung up on what we think we should have. But really though, we come into this world with nothing and we leave with nothing. So all this is just distractions. If I'm willing to let this go, because the biggest thing that you can do for yourself is actually, and it's hard, is not to build attachments. I'm not saying like don't love people. Of course, love people, but understand when it's time to love and let go. That could be towards family. That could be towards even like possessions of things. Like if a car, your car broke down, love it and let it go. I appreciate you for being there to take me to the places I needed to go. You were the step in my life. You were the thing in my life that got me to where I am now. I love you for it. I respect you for it, but it's time to let you go. And I think as a collective, that's something that we need to do more of. It's really hard to put yourself in that mindset, because if you're a person who loves your things, Taurus, if you're a person who loves your things, who else is like that? Mines. It's mines. Yeah, for that moment. It was only yours for that moment, so that way it can help you to get to the next level. Think about that. Where do we leave off on? Let go. The Great One, and the Great One is capitalized, by the way, will handle all matters in your life if you open your heart to divine guidance and let go with faith. Believe it when you let go of these things that you're going to get something better. Don't let go of things out of like sadness. Let go of things out of love. That is deep. That almost kind of made me a little emotional to say that. But let go of things out of love. Thank them for their time in your life. You were here for a season, but now the season's over. This will not make you passive. Rather, it will allow you to feel inspired to take only the most helpful action. This oracle indicates an answered prayer, and that the Divine One has you covered in a situation of concern to you. You are healing and deepening your relationship with the divine. That's nice. I hope that really helps you guys out there. That's why I like doing these readings. And I don't know why it started to smell like sage in my room all of a sudden. It really does. I can respect it. Is it this book? Hold on. I don't know. Something smells like sage. That's crazy. I started smelling sage all of a sudden. So, yeah, you guys just sit with yourself tonight and really think about, like, what is it that I need to hear from Spirit? Be open to hearing from Spirit more often. Don't be so scared to hear from Spirit. You know? I did give my neighbor, because I'm at work right now in my room on my downtime, I did give him some sage. So I'm curious to see if he's burning it. Yes, you guys, I used to sell sage at some time. If you guys are interested in purchasing sage, I can work that out. Let me know. All right, people. Have a good day. I love you guys. Have a good day. Actually, before I go, again, I just want to say this. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. Make sure to follow me on Snap. No, I don't have Snapchat yet. And check out my website. Okay, bye. Love you guys.